Alright, so one of the things that I'm going to want for my sushi today is I want to have some extra texture to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do some crispy shallots. I've got just maybe 1/8 to 1/4 inch of oil there. I'm using extra virgin olive oil right now because that's what I could get at Costco. I generally prefer not to use an olive oil for any type of deep frying. Again, because it has that lower flash point and it will react to oxygen more than other oils might. So I'm going to use it because it was what it's available, and I don't eat it on a regular basis. However, a lot of chefs, cook their entire lives with pretty much nothing but olive oil varieties. So, once in a while, it's not going to hurt too much, and I don't eat a whole lot of fried foods. So I'm going to break these apart into little rings because I want to have them nice and small pieces, but I still want to have them in the rings because I want to have that structure there. If I minced it up right now, probably won't get that. Whoa, these are a little bit ripe, so they got a lot of that acid coming up into the air right now. Not quite enough that I'm crying, but that's okay. Wearing contacts will help with that. Another thing that helps with that is sometimes having like a wet washcloth or something underneath, or not washcloth, but paper towel underneath, so it kind of catches that so it doesn't go up into the air as much. Just experiment around with different things. Sometimes soaking the onions I think helps sometimes, but again, I'm about to put it in oil and I don't necessarily want to have really particularly, I don't even know what I'm trying to say there, wet, because that's going to cause more spatter and whatnot. So basically what I'm looking for is I want this to be around 350. We're probably going to get there pretty quickly because it's so shallow. So we're past 250 now. And this one times out after like 15 seconds before it actually hits the heat. So I'm just going to let it sit there for a moment because it actually is still going to read. So we've got it at, we're getting there, getting close to 300 now. One way that you can kind of tell if it's too cold, it's going to be soggy at the end. So you can kind of just drop one in and see how it reacts, and see how that's kind of a mild reaction. I want it to be a little bit more violent than that. So I'm going to go ahead and just give it another minute or so here. I do have a deep fry thermometer, which you can see them in a couple different ways. Sometimes they'll have a big dial at the top. Sometimes there'll be a mercury-based one like this one. Because this is shallow, this is not going to work in this pan, so that's why I'm using the thermometer for this. And we are getting up there. We're just about, oh, I'm not even in the oil. Yeah, I'm getting close to like about 325 being red here. That's another reason why you want to have one that can just sit in the oil, is because you're going to actually get an accurate reading, whereas this one's still coming up to temperature, and we are close enough. Look at that. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop these in, and you're going to see that this is going to get violet. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself some space here. And we're just going to kind of make sure that it just doesn't burn here. Right? So generally speaking, since this is a ceramic or a non-stick pan, I don't like to get metal anywhere close to it. But if I were to use a plastic spoon here, sometimes you're going to, if you need to move things around a lot, it's going to melt on you and it's going to boil up, and I did learn that the hard way. So yeah, I'm just going to give these a couple minutes here. I want to get them nice crispy brown, and I may have to, if they come out too soggy when I actually dry them off afterwards, I may have to put them in twice. And a lot of times, like how you get like really crispy French fries or that type of thing, is that you actually will put it in more than once into the oil. You let it cool down, and then you shock it again to crispy up that outside there. So I'll let these go. I want them to get a nice brown color, but I do not want them turning black. So the one that I put it in there for a test, so you guys can see here really quick. It's right there. You see it's got a nice kind of caramelization going around the outside, but this one's going to stay kind of soft at this point. So it needs to be in there a little bit longer than that. I do want it to get a little bit more color to it. So, and I want that to be consistent all along there. I'm going to be using some shrimp tonight, and I'm going to be steaming the shrimp which I've never done before, and I don't know how it's going to turn out. So I'll let you guys know at the very end, or I'll just edit this section out. But To defrost my shrimp, because I just pulled this out of the freezer, you usually want to run it under a constant stream of cold water. At the moment, our drinking water of the house is contaminated, so I can't do that. The purpose of defrosting under running water is not to warm it up faster, but actually to stop it from going into the danger zone on the outside while the inside is still cooling. So it's actually meant to keep it cold. The best way to defrost something is actually to pull it out the night before and leave it in your fridge overnight. That's just going to be the safest way. It's also going to give you the best results. You're not going to have as much toughness. The microwave is probably one of the worst ways of doing it, and just shocking it by throwing it in, you're going to get a raw center with an overcooked rubbery outside. If I had my druthers, if I really could go through and do this properly, then the shrimp would have never been frozen in the first place. And I think that's one of the things that's, like, the fresher your food is, the better it's going to be. So, here we are. I will be doing more deep fried later tonight because I got some lovely plantains. And for our dessert tonight, we're going to be doing a banana foster. So, stay tuned for that. I'm going to include that in this video later on. All right.